Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here to tell you what Andhra Pradesh government has been doing in the field of financial inclusion. We in the Rural Development Department had a requirement of making payments to 1.3 crore wage seekers under the NREGA and 70 lakh pensioners every month, and for the wage seekers, it is a weekly payment. And financial inclusion is one of the less trodden grounds in the e-governance sector. And we, as you know, this is a dated data that's placed before you. We have near about 70,000 bank branches, but only 30,000 in the rural areas. And we have 1.5 lakh post offices. Which are not so much in the banking area, but there is a little bit of banking. They can also be used for making payments in the rural areas, but they are not so much electronically savvy. But it's mostly manual activity. We try to make the payments through the post offices initially, but it's a lot of manual activity prone to a lot of uncertainty. And so we hit upon the idea of making these smart card payments through biometric validation. And in financial exclusion, it is nearly 51% of the rural households are financially excluded, and 45% of the total earners only have the bank accounts, and 28% of total earners below 50,000 rupees income, they had any bank accounts, and only 13% of them could access any kind of bank credit. And financial inclusion, as you know, looks upon extension of banking services to the unreached poor, and that has to be at an affordable cost to actually even to materialize. And in India, it has been a state-driven intervention, and some banks also have made some voluntary efforts. It involves opening of a bank account and informing about banking services and actually extending them to the people. This AP State Smart Card project is a state-driven intervention. We try to give these services at the Gram Panchayat level, and I told you it covers pensions as well as NREGA wage payments. And initially we started with a chip-based smart card architecture, and the payments have to be made by establishing identity and biometric authentication. And at the GP level, there has to be a business correspondent or a customer service provider, and entire thing has to be through banks only. That is, the banker identifies a business correspondent, and a business correspondent identifies a customer service provider at the Gram Panchayat level. And the business correspondent connects the service provider as well as the bank. He moves the cash to and fro and also the data. And of course, one specific provision that we have made is we were ready to pay. Government of Andhra Pradesh was ready to pay 2% commission as the service charge. And in the key processes here is allotment of the district to the banks. The areas GPs are allotted to the different banks, and banks bid for they select technology service providers and business correspondents, and they are entirely free to do so. They can select their own service provider, their own business correspondent, and enrollment takes place, and smart cards are issued. And the business cycle goes like this. In the government, we send the pay orders, electronic pay orders, and also the acquittance and the funds. And again, from the bank, the cash, e-pay order and the acquittance moves to the business correspondent, and from there to the different customer service providers in the remotest of the villages. And the data flows in reverse after making the payments. And here the electronic process is the POS, there is a POS or a mobile at the village point. The CSP downloads the data and then gets biometric authentication, fingerprint authentication from the beneficiary, and she passes on the cash and then uploads the data. There are two ways. One is a POS based solution, another is a mobile based solution. Both are working. This is as per the choices of the banks concerned. And the implementation has been a long drawn affair because of several difficulties we faced in the system. Initially, in the year 2007, we ran a pilot in 6 mandals of Warangal district. After it was successful, then we rolled it out, and then the state level bankers committee took a decision that we have a system of service area through which bankers try to reach out to the rural areas. So this should also take the same path. Then we tried for about 2 years, and then it didn't work because most of the banks were not prepared. So we went along the one district, one bank model, and this has really worked. And we are able to reach out to almost all the villages. And in a matter of 3 to 4 months, we will be covering the entire state. So far, we have made payments of more than 3,000 crores, and almost we have covered 75% of the villages so far. And the rest of them are in very easy reach, and enrollment has taken place in all the villages almost. And we in AP, we do transact NREGA payments through electronic fund management system, and there is also a server to server integration and transfer of data between the banks as well as the government. And we have also positioned one management graduate as a district level coordinator to take care of the supervision part. And there are a lot of difficulties. That is, there has to be specialized line of command in the banks. They should have a special FI staff officers, and technology also needs to be standardized. That we are going to work on these lines. And cash management, of course, is the eternal issue because cash has to move to the remotest villages. And these are the service providers and banks who are working in this project. And financial inclusion is not an unprofitable activity, as MFIs in Andhra Pradesh have proved it. Banking for the poor, serving the poor, is an extremely profitable activity, and only government concern in AP has been how to regulate them and see that the poor are not taken for a ride, and they should not pay any more than what we pay in the urban areas for banking services. And in our project, this banking services, banking products have not been rolled out, so it has not reached the kind of intended economies for the banks, and we have been strong on the heels of these banks to see that they start these banking products to make this financial inclusion a strong thing. And when we take the rights-based approach, the rural areas and the poor have to be served on the same terms, and when, of course, they cannot be kept waiting for too long. And I believe it can happen. Thank you.